Hello everyone, my name is Catherine and I'm a certified yoga teacher with the University of Ottawa. And I've prepared a yoga class for us all today to really open up the body, open up the hips, open up the shoulders. This is more of an energizing class today. I assume that most of you are at home sitting a lot of the time, and so I hope this class can really give you some energy, give you back some focus, some motivation, and all of those good things. So I hope you enjoy the class. At any point during the class, make sure that you modify a pose so that it fits your own body if you need it. If anything hurts, if anything is slightly uncomfortable in a way that you're not comfortable with, I encourage you to find a variation in the pose or to simply take a break at any point. So we'll get started in a seated position. Let's bring the hands on top of the knees and close the eyes. We'll use these first moments in the practice to bring the awareness to our breath. So we're bringing our awareness completely inwards. Let's try and ignore anything that's going on around you. We simply want to be aware of each inhale and each exhale, and you may notice that already you're slowing your breath only by bringing your attention inwards. Trying to slow the breath so that each inhale and each exhale are about 4 to 5 seconds. On your next inhale, let's look up, looping the shoulders back. And exhale, we'll round through the upper back, chin to chest. Inhale, looping the shoulders back, squeezing the shoulder blades together. Exhale, rounding the upper back, chin to chest. After your next exhale, we'll come up onto the knees with the shins parallel. So kind of like a camel stance. We'll bring both hands behind the back, keeping a neutral neck. Let's lift the right arm all the way up and looking up if that's comfortable for the neck. On your next exhale, we'll fold forwards, bringing the hand behind the back. Inhale, rising back up. Exhale, coming forwards, hand on the lower back. We'll keep going like this a few more times. And this next time, as you exhale, we'll place the hand on the lower back. Lifting the left arm up. Inhale. And exhale. Inhale to come up. Exhale to come forwards. And we'll keep going like this. At your own pace, you might be going slower or faster than me. On your next exhale, we'll bring the left hand back down onto the lower back. Let's now plant the hands. Find our neutral table so that the hips and the knees are stacked, the shoulders, the elbows, and the wrists are stacked. On your inhale, lower the belly and look up. Exhale, pressing through the hands, rounding the upper back. Let's bring the chin towards the chest. Inhale, bringing down the belly, chin up. Exhale, chin to chest, rounding the upper back into angry cat. We'll keep going like this for a few more cycles of breath, really trying to exaggerate, especially in the angry cat. So we're really pushing through the upper back, spreading the shoulder blades further away from each other. Finding our neutral table, once again, we'll place the elbows down where the hands were on the mat. And let's walk the knees a little bit further back, maybe 2 or 3 inches. And let's sink the heart closer towards the mat. If you're feeling a bit tight in the shoulders, this stretch is excellent for you. You can treat this pose as either a back bend or as a core strengthening exercise where you squeeze the core in, bring the chin towards the chest. On your next inhale, we'll rise back up. Let's find our neutral table. As you exhale, sitting back towards the heels, let's set the head down. Inhale, coming back to table. And exhale, we'll lower down onto the belly. Inhale, rising up to table. Exhale, sitting back to child's pose. Inhale, up to table. Exhale to come down. Inhale, push up to table. And exhale, sit back to child's pose. We'll do this one last time. Coming up on the inhale. Exhale, down onto the belly. Inhale, back to table. And exhale, sitting back towards the heels. On your next inhale, we'll find our table. Let's tuck the toes in, lifting the hips strongly up towards the ceiling. This is our first down dog, so you might be feeling especially stiff, especially if you haven't been moving very much these past few days or weeks. Let's try and walk the dog, lifting one heel and then lifting the other. Doing whatever movement feels right for you. Maybe that's swaying the hips from side to side, or simply walking the dog. Any movement is good. Let's find stillness in our down dog, in whatever pose that is for you, whether that is keeping the knees bent and the heels lifted, or keeping your legs completely straight. On your next exhale, we'll come forwards into a high plank. Inhale, lifting the hips up to downward dog. Exhale, up to high plank. Inhale, lifting the hips. We'll do a few more like this, trying to feel that your spine is moving like a wave. So as you exhale, let's lift the chin at the end of the movement. And coming back to downward dog, the chin comes towards the chest at the end of the movement once again. At the end of your next exhale, let's bend the knees, look to thumbs, step or jump towards the hands. Inhale, looking up. Exhale to fold forwards. Inhale, rise up, spreading the arms. Exhale to mountain pose. On our next inhale, let's spread the arms up, looking up at the end of the movement. If that's accessible to you. Exhale, the arms back to sides. Inhale, the arms up, looking up. Exhale, back to sides. Inhale, let's spread the arms. This time we'll fold all the way forwards, keeping a slight bend in the knee. Inhale, half lift, keeping the fingertips either on the mat or hands on top of the shins. On your next exhale, we'll plant the hands, step back, lower the knees, lower all the way down. Inhale, either cobra with bent arms or up dog with straight arms. Exhale, downward facing dog. Trying to find our still pose. So here, maybe you need to bend the knees to keep your back straight. Maybe your heels are lifted to release the tension in the hamstrings. Any of those variations are perfect. Once you've found the pose, try and find your drishti, a point of focus with the eyes. Trying to be completely still in this pose. At the end of your next exhale, let's round forwards, looking to thumbs, stepping or jumping towards the hands. Inhale, half lift. Exhale to fold forwards. Inhale, rising all the way up. Exhale, mountain pose. Inhale, spreading the arms. Exhale to fold forwards. Inhale, looking up, half lift. Exhale, plant the hands, step back, lower the knees, lower all the way down. Inhale to cobra or up dog. Exhale to downward facing dog. We'll stay here for 3 to 5 breaths. Finding our down dog position and then staying there. So we're not moving. It can be very tempting to fidget with the fingers or the toes, or move the legs here. Let's try and just accept where we are right now. Find your drishti, your point of focus. And also trying to slow the breath to maybe trick the body that this pose is easy and that you're feeling relaxed. At the end of your next exhale, let's bend the knees, look to thumbs, step or jump towards the hands. Inhale, half lift. Exhale to fold forwards. Inhale, rising all the way up, looking up. Exhale, mountain pose. Let's do one last sun salutation. Inhaling. Exhaling. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, step back. Lower the knees, lower all the way down. Inhale, cobra or up dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Here on your next inhale, let's lift the heels further up. Exhale, trying to lower the heels down towards the floor. Inhale, lifting the heels. Exhale, lower down. We'll keep going like this a few times. At the end of your next exhale, let's bend the knees, look to thumbs. Step or jump towards the hands. Inhale, half lift. Exhale to fold forwards. Inhale, rising all the way up. And exhale to mountain pose. Let's bring the hands to heart center now. On your next exhale, let's bend the knees, touching the floor in front of you. Inhale, looking up. Exhale, folding forwards. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, stepping back. Lower the knees, lower all the way down. Inhale, cobra or up dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. From down dog, we'll lift both heels, stepping the right foot forwards, flattening the back foot, rising up to warrior one. So the hips are square with the short end of the mat. Option here with the arms to keep them by the ears and a neutral neck. Or you can have the hands together and have the chin behind the arms. On your next exhale, let's open up to warrior two, lengthening the stance, spreading the arms straight on each side, maybe bending that front knee further down if you're looking for a more challenging practice today. Gazing towards the front fingertips and keeping the shoulders relaxed here. On your next inhale, let's straighten the front leg, look up towards the right hand. Exhale, coming forwards to side angle, resting on the top of the thigh. Inhale, straightening the front leg, looking up. Exhale, coming forwards for side angle. We'll keep going like this, at the pace of your own breath, of course. At the top of your next inhale, we'll place the hands behind the head. Let's bend at the front knee. On your next exhale, we'll try and bring the left elbow on the other side of the leg. Inhale to come up. Exhale, elbow towards the knee. So we only imagine that we are trying to get on the other side of this leg here. We will do so in a second. We are only prepping the body for this twist that is coming up. So on this next one, we'll lunge on the back toes, lower the knee, bringing the hands to heart center. Let's bring the elbow on the other side of the leg. If you can bring up to the shoulder on the other side of the leg, that is even better, but any modification that works for you is perfect. So we'll tuck in the back toes, either staying here or lifting the back knee to a straight leg. So we're trying to keep the chest open. This is a very deep twist here. On your next exhale, let's lower the back knee, bringing both hands on the inside of the foot, walking the foot further towards the right. I have mine just at the edge of the yoga mat here. You can either stay here or come onto the side of the foot, staying here or coming down onto the forearms. This pose here is absolutely excellent to stretch the left hip flexors. So you might feel that you can sink deeper and deeper into the pose the longer that we stay here. And that is simply because your left hip flexors are really getting a nice stretch. We're also opening the right hip very strongly in this pose. Overall, a really great pose for those of us that spend most of our day sitting down at a desk at a computer. Let's come back onto the hands now. Walk the foot so that the right hand can come on the other side. Let's tuck in the back toes and take a big step to the front of the mat into ragdoll pose. Option to clasp onto the elbows. For a very nice shoulder stretch, let's bring the hands behind the back, clasping the hands, letting the arms rock forwards, letting gravity do all of the work for you, opening up your shoulders here. So we want to keep this bend in the knee. We want to use the legs as a very strong support for the upper body in ragdoll. On your next exhale, we'll lower the arms, letting go of the hands. Inhale, rising all the way up, spreading the arms and looking up. Exhale, mountain pose. On your next inhale, we'll bring the hands to heart center. Exhale, hands touching down the floor in front of you. Inhale, chair pose. Exhale, let's fold forwards. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, stepping back. Lower the knees, lower all the way down. Inhale, cobra or up dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Here, let's lift both heels, stepping the left foot forwards, flattening the back foot, and rising all the way up to your warrior one of choice. So maybe the hands are on each side of the ears, or maybe the hands are together, and you have the chin lifted behind the arms. On your next exhale, we'll open up the arms, maybe lengthening the stance so that now the hips are facing the long edge of the mat. Looking forwards to your fingertips, maybe sinking a bit deeper through that front leg for more of a challenge. On your next inhale, we'll straighten the front leg and look up to the left arm. Exhale, let's come forwards to side angle. Inhale, coming back up. Exhale, windmill the arms. We'll keep going like this at your own pace. At the end of your next inhale, we'll turn towards the front edge of the mat. Let's bring the hands behind the head. As we exhale, we'll bring the right elbow somewhere towards the left knee, as if we were aiming to go on the other side of that leg. Now let's lower the knee, bringing the hands to heart center, and we'll try and bring the maybe the shoulder on the other side of that leg, opening up towards the left side, staying here, which is great, or lifting up the back knee, adding a balancing aspect to this reverse side angle. On your next exhale, lower the knee. Let's place both hands on the inside of the foot, walking the foot all the way to the left edge of the mat. Maybe we're backing up the knee a little bit, either staying here, which is great, or coming onto the side of the left foot, or maybe coming down onto the forearms if that's not too much for your hip. On our exhales, let's try and imagine that we relax through this pose so that our bodies are getting closer towards the floor. On your next inhale, let's plant the hands, framing the front foot, tucking in the back toes, and just taking a big step to the front of the mat. We'll take a few breaths in ragdoll with the option to clasp the hands behind your back, letting the arms rock forwards, using gravity as a tool to do all the work for you. Keeping a nice, generous bend in the knees so that your upper body feels completely supported here, rather than going for a strong hamstring stretch. On your next exhale, let's lower the arms. Inhale, rise all the way up to mountain pose. Inhale with the hands to heart center. Exhale, sitting back. Inhale, looking up. Exhale to fold forwards. Inhale, looking up to half lift. Exhale, step back. Lower the knees, lower all the way down. Inhale to cobra or up dog. Exhale to downward facing dog. On your next inhale, lift the right leg up and step forward somewhere between the hands. Lower the front knee. Inhale, shining the heart forwards. Exhale, sitting back towards the back heel. Inhale, coming forwards. Exhale, sitting back. We'll keep going like this a few times. The back toes can be tucked underneath the foot, or the foot can be completely flat on the mat. It's up to you. On your next exhale, we'll stay here for a few breaths. Option to fold further forwards so that the nose aims towards the center of the right shin. But you can also be all the way up here. On your next inhale, we'll come forwards once again. Exhale completely here. Inhale from the core and pushing through the front heel. Let's rise up and maybe looking up if that's accessible. On your next exhale, let's bring the hands back down, tuck in the back toes, and we'll take a small step forwards, using the fingertips for support on the floor. Let's lift the back leg up. From here, maybe we can bring the hands at heart center, lifting the chest up, either staying here or opening up the arms like wings, working the upper back. On your next exhale, let's finish the step so that we are back in mountain pose at the top of the mat. Bringing the hands together, inhale. Exhale, sitting into chair pose. Inhale, looking up. Exhale to fold forwards. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, stepping back. Lower the knees, lower all the way down. Inhale to cobra or up dog. Exhale to downward facing dog. Let's now lift the left leg up towards the ceiling and take a big step between the hands, lower the back knee. Inhaling to look forwards. Exhaling to sit back towards the back heel. So here, if your knee comes past your ankle on your inhale, if that's comfortable for your knee, it's really no problem. On this next exhale here, let's try and fold towards the front leg, aiming the nose for the center of the shin, introducing just a slight twist in the spine. On your next inhale, let's come forwards. Exhale completely. Inhale, pressing through the front heel. Let's come up. On your next exhale, let's frame the front foot. We'll lift the back knee, take a small step forwards. At first, we'll just keep the fingertips here on the floor, about a foot in front of us, lifting the back leg. Either staying here or bringing the hands at heart center and really opening up the chest. Option to stay here or open up the arms like wings, activating the upper back. On your next exhale, we'll step forwards into our mountain pose. Making our way down to the mat now. Let's start from our mountain pose. Inhale to spread the arms. Exhale to fold forwards. Inhale, looking up, half lift. Exhale, plant the hands, step back, lower the knees, lower all the way down. Inhale to cobra or up dog. Exhale to downward facing dog. From here, bending the knees and looking to thumbs. Let's see if we can jump through the hands. If you can't, that's fine. Any way that you want. Let's meet in a seated position with the legs straight out in front of us. The hands next to the hips. Here, if you feel like you have to lean back for your legs to be straight, and that can be due to a lack of flexibility in the hamstrings. That's totally fine if that's happening to you. Let's try and bring the chest up by bending the knees. So the knees can be very, very bent here. Or you can have just a slight bend, just as a slight help to hinge from the hips and bring the chest up. On your next inhale, let's lift the arms up. Exhale, trying to reach for the big toes with the peace fingers. Maybe you need to keep a generous bend in the knees. Maybe you can have the legs straight. On your next inhale, let's look up. Exhale to fold forwards. So here, let's stop at any point that is a sweet spot for you. You might be further up. Maybe your nose is touching your legs. Any way is good. In any way, we just want to have a gentle stretch throughout the legs. On your next inhale, look up. Exhale, let's let go of the pose. So bending at the left leg, we'll place the right foot somewhere above the knee. Using the hands for support, opening the chest so that the shoulder blades are a bit closer towards each other. If you have tight hips, you can definitely stay here. If you have very open hips and you have no problems with the knees, let's try fire log, stacking the shins one on top of the other. If your knees are unhappy in this pose, make sure that you come out of it. So if this is very comfortable, you can try and reach forwards and introduce a gentle fold into this pose. As you exhale, let's try and completely relax. This is a very intense pose, so we want to send the breath to the areas that feel especially tight so that we can completely relax. On your next inhale, let's come back up. If you were folding forwards, we'll gently come out of this pose. Send the left leg out long, placing the right foot along the inside of the left leg. Inhale, looking up towards the hands. And exhale, trying to reach for the foot or anywhere along the leg. Folding further forwards towards the leg, aiming the nose for the center of the shin. So again, we're introducing a slight twist in the spine to align the spine with this left leg. On your next inhale, we'll rise back up, placing the right hand somewhere behind your hips, maybe a foot or so, and coming on to the right leg for support. Let's find a side stretch, reaching further back for a deeper side stretch, and maybe for a back bend, we can open up the chest towards the ceiling. On your next exhale, we'll sit back down. Onto the other side now, we'll place the left foot somewhere above the right knee. And using the hands for support, looping the shoulders back, opening the chest. We can either stay here or we can try fire log if the hips are very open already. Stacking the shin bones together. Either staying here or reaching forwards to fold and bowing the head. Again, in this very intense pose, we want to use the breath as a tool of relaxation. So we can imagine that on each exhale, we send the breath to the hips, to the places that feel especially tight. And it's very helpful in order to sink deeper in the pose. On your next inhale, let's come back up. Gently coming out of the pose, we'll send the right leg out long, with the inside of the left foot against the leg. Inhale, let's lift the arms up, looking up. Exhale, reaching for either the foot or anywhere along the leg. Let's fold forwards, aiming the nose for the center of the shin. On your next inhale, let's come back up, using the left hand for support, propping up on the left leg, reaching back for a side stretch, and maybe opening up the chest towards the ceiling to approach this pose as more of a back bend. On your next exhale, let's sit back down with both knees pointing towards the ceiling, placing the arms on each side of the legs, staying here or maybe finding our half boat pose, lifting the feet off of the mat. You can stay here or maybe you can try full boat pose, straightening both legs and activating the core even more. On your next exhale, we'll come forwards. Let's lift off of the mat for just a moment and come back, finding either half boat pose or full boat, or maybe alternating between the two. On your next exhale, let's place the feet down onto the mat. Let's try and very slowly lie back with the arms on each side. On your next inhale, let's lift the arms all the way up overhead. Exhale, placing the arms back to sides. Inhale the arms up. Exhale the arms back to sides. We'll add some movement into the hips now. So let's first make sure that your feet are just far enough so that you can graze the top of the heels with the fingertips and the legs are parallel. On our inhale, we'll rise the arms up as we just did. Exhale, let's lift the hips up, chest towards the chin. Inhale, let's lower the arms. Exhale, we'll lower the hips. Inhale, lifting the arms up. Exhale, lifting the hips. Inhale, let's lower the arms. Exhale, vertebrae by vertebrae, let's lower the hips back down. Inhale, lift the arms up. Exhale, lifting the hips. Inhale, lower the arms. Exhale, let's round the back as we come down vertebrae by vertebrae. Sending the legs out long now. Let's walk the feet towards the right corner of the mat. With the arms overhead, we'll send the hands towards the right as well, inching the shoulder blades towards the right. Option to catch the left wrist and hook the left toe of the left foot on top of the right ankle. And for a deeper side stretch, we can pull onto the wrist so that we can feel the side stretch along the left side body. Let's close the eyes. Trying to slow the breath even more, allowing 5 seconds for each inhale, 5 seconds for each exhale, maybe longer. Letting go of the wrist and of the ankle, let's come back to center. And we'll inch the shoulder blades towards the left as well as the feet towards the left corner of the mat. Holding on to the right wrist and maybe hooking the right foot on top of the left ankle. Closing the eyes. Using the wrist here, if you want a deeper side stretch, you can pull on the wrist. Bringing our concentration inwards. Let's try and completely relax into this stretch. Letting go of the wrist, letting go of anything we were doing with the feet. Let's come back to center. We'll place the arms on each side, palms facing up towards the ceiling. Let's place the feet out wide, letting the feet loosely fall to each side. Closing the eyes. Completely relaxing here so we can honor here the curve in the lower back. Imagining that on each inhale, every cell in your body is expanding. And on each exhale, every cell in your body is further relaxing. You can stay in this pose, Shavasana or corpse pose, as long as you would like. I would suggest maybe 5 minutes at least to really use this time for yourself, to be in the present moment. Let the earth support you with this simple goal of completely relaxing. Thank you so much for joining me in this class. I hope to see you in the next one in the future. Namaste.